Tomorrow sailing!
Welcome to Mother. Hi, I'm Amy. This is my husband MJ and our 5 boys, Bobby, MJ Striker, Naudis, and Rebel. Left our house in Florida and set sail on an adventure of a lifetime and an education outside of the classroom. Island hopped our way down to Central America, where we are currently located and working towards our dream of crossing the Pacific. And if you're gonna do something, do it now. Tomorrow's too late. Last episode, we crossed over the Caribbean Sea from Great Anagua, Bahamas to Panama. And after a long and eventful 7 days, we were really excited to see land and anchor up, which we did, outside of Bocas del Toro in a quaint little anchorage in the old bay of Bocas. After a few days of adjusting to the heat here, we had to get creative to find different ways to stay cool. And the steps we have taken are crucial to our survival. It is so important to tarp up your boat.
Definitely in a different state than she was 10 days ago.
We did not have her looking like this in the Exumas. Paul's got the tarps going. Let me know. Nice. After helping our friends sea trial their new dinghy, we went into town at Bocas to get some pizza, meet up with the crew on Don Quixote, and let the wildlings run free. Yeah, go ahead. Talk to me. Whew. And one thing that I can say about Panama right now, 2023 June, is it is hot, like so hot. I don't think I've been this hot in a really, maybe I've never even been this hot.
You're
So
hot.
so hot.
So hot.
So this week's episode is going to be a little different because since we have been here in this beautiful mountainous jungle setting, just really pretty, beautiful. A lot has happened. We've gone through a lot. We've lost a crew member, and we've just a lot's gone on. So this is gonna be a little bit different. Yes, we've had a few shenanigans, and we've explored on the search for good pizza, playgrounds, friends, and we have found all of those things. And today I'm going to just kind of give a rundown of where we're at and how we're functioning. And one of the most important things that we have that's helped us stay functioning with YouTube and all that jazz, but just connected to the world, work stuff, and homeschool basically is Starlink, which is super trendy right now. And we've had our Starlink for like November of last year, 2022. And yes, we knew about all of the geofencing and whatever when we were going into it. So they have done this, and there's a new package out. And the one thing that I will say that I'm super stoked on is that we can still use our dish that we have and get the marine package.
We bought the RV dish, rectangular dish.
Cost us $600.
And the plan then was $130 a month.
Yes, that's what you.
Well, so originally, I guess when there wasn't a lot of satellites, those dishes, they needed to move to point to where the majority of the satellites were located to track them. And as more satellites were launched, basically all the dish has to do is just face straight up.
Yeah.
So somebody figured out how you can just
Yeah.
drill a hole in the bottom of the unit and pull this little plug on it, and it disables the motor. And doing that, it consumes less power, it makes it fixed so you don't have to worry about it swinging and moving and hitting stuff.
There's everything on a boat. You're constantly moving.
Yeah,
like,
and plus
constantly.
with the boat moving and that thing trying to move and find satellites, it would never be able to
Good
keep
luck
up
with
with it
that.
anyway. So it actually works better just being completely level.
Stationary.
Yeah, stationary. So figure that out. It's a quick little hole we had to drill.
I was
in it.
horrible the whole time.
Yeah, you
that he
basically
was
buy a
drilling into it.
$600 antenna right out the box and drill a hole in it,
$600 is-
avoid the warranty.
Yeah,
But luckily it was pretty easy.
it works.
Pulled the plug, and then it just made it just a flat dish.
Yeah.
And when we did that, we needed to find somewhere to mount it on the boat. And we got solar panels everywhere on this
We
thing.
have this killer David system, like this whole rad like arch thing, which also stems as like our surfboard rack. We have this really stout. It's pretty awesome. Solar boards here.
Worked out to where you could put surfboards under
It's
there.
our solar panels, but look, here's the Starlink. Just want you to see from underneath here, and the way we have it just directly up against the solar panel there, which honestly has just been it's perfectly located.
So we didn't want to create shade for our solar panels because any kind of shade is bad.
Like any kind of shade.
It'll greatly decrease your output of energy. So with the dish, you don't want any obstructions, anything blocking it, and then you lose reception. So my thought process was try to get it on a level plane with the panels, so you're not getting any shade from the dish to the panels, and the panels isn't affecting the reception. So basically just extended the original pole with this piece of aluminum. Found a cheap stainless steel rod holder on Amazon that basically just rail clamps onto this arch, and it articulates and moves in all different directions, and cut a piece of pipe to fixed length, mounted it here, and it's solid. It's been up there through some blows and rough
Hurricanes.
Too. And it's not going anywhere. It doesn't affect the solar panels, and we get good reception from it. The wiring's a little, I didn't run it inside the pipe because I didn't know how long this was going to work, but just ran the wire down below deck and down into the router.
Right.
I've seen a lot of Starlink antennas on boats, and they never disabled the motors, and they're just sitting on like the deck of their boat, or they're sitting over on the top of their solar panels, creating all kinds of shade. I think with a little bit of money, a little bit of labor involved, you could set something like this up pretty easy, and it's almost like it's not on the boat, and it kind of just blends in. It doesn't look crazy. So yeah, happy with the install.
So that's our Starlink setup.
Yeah, so since we got it, it's been there and it hasn't moved an inch. Haven't had to worry about it.
Literally went through a hurricane.
Haven't had any dropouts or any issues with it. It's a little bit, it was a lot of, had to chase some wires through the deck and route it to the router, which is in our salon.
We'll show you where that is.
The router that Starlink gives you with the package doesn't have that great of like range or reception. It's like from one end to the boat, it
changes.
You actually lose a little bit of reception towards the end of the boat, so you don't have to worry about anybody stealing your Wi-Fi. And it consumes some power. That's something to consider if you're on a boat that doesn't have.
And we're dealing with that right now.
A good amount of solar or battery capacity. Yeah. It consumes about 50 to 75 watts at 120 volts, the router. We're fortunate enough where we got a good amount of solar, and it doesn't really...
We have 1,800.
And 1,200 amp hours of battery capacity. So
lithium battery.
You can unplug it at night. It's probably what we should be doing. Usually forget. But there's options out there where you can use other routers, 12-volt routers, or routers that consume less energy.
Yeah.
Finding a spot on the boat that's going to make you happy, that works good, but isn't obnoxious or in a dangerous spot.
Yeah.
Can sometimes be challenging because every boat's different. But I think
you did a great job.
Yeah, I'm happy with the way it's worked out.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Let's go show you where our router is. By the way, don't judge. We live on a 50-foot monohull with 5 children. The router's right there behind the fan in the corner, and that is perfectly midship in our 50-foot live area, centered here. And honestly, the boys in their cabins, we don't have any issues. So there you go. That's our
With Starlink, they have an app for it. You can download on your smartphone, and just download the app here. You could access your account, do speed tests. We'll do a little quick speed test here to see how our speeds are in Bocas del Toro. Mother load sailing online, speed test.
Seems pretty.
133 megabytes per second, which works pretty good for us. I'd say that's not too bad.
All right, so for Starlink and Sizemore 7 on here, Mrs. Amy Renee, but Motherlode Sailing, I'm gonna give it I'm gonna throw it a 10, like a
10?
Okay.
No.
All right.
10 would be if it was just like fell out of the sky and it was free.
I'm gonna put it at a 7.5.
You really can't complain. I mean, it's a reasonable price for what you're getting. Any of the other options out there are way more expensive. there really isn't any other competitors in the market right now, so they can name their price. So it's affordable. The hardware is way smaller than what you've seen in the past. You've seen these boats with these giant domes on
Really big domes. Like
on their deck.
Delos, they have one of those massive domes on there.
I mean, you could mount one of these things, flush mount it to where you wouldn't even see it if you wanted to invest the time into doing that. So the hardware, the cost, the easeability.
You're only giving it a 7?
There's always, you got to leave a little room for improvement.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, drop a like and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to help us stay provisioning, visit us at Modelo Sailing /Patreon. Bye!